All right. I think it says we're live now. Peace, peace from the Tiny 23 experience. Welcome to another episode of Melanin Dialogue. But tonight, we're going to talk about communications and prosperity, how we communicate things to one another in couples, I would say. Thriving in tough times, because we all know that prices are going up, up, up. And as far as I know, we don't get weekly raises. It doesn't work like that. So we're back to communicating and prosperity. How are we thriving in tough times with one another? So after this brief little music play, right quick, then we'll get right into the subject. Tonight we have our special guest, Brother Rizzy, and he is here with us to give and share his wisdom. He's actually been on other shows of ours. This is not his first appearance, but he will, he can give a brief overview of, himself. Here we go. Brother Rizzy, you can take it over now.
Good evening, grand evening.
Started.
Well, my take on connection and prosperity, as having another partner, your other half, however you want to say it, it's like, especially I'm gonna speak from the Black community. That's how I want to speak about it. Because
Okay.
I can't speak about any other race, but our race first.
Absolutely.
It starts with us first.
That's right.
So it's like a good example for me, a good example of communicating and dealing with a situation that you may prosper from two ways. You can learn from it, and you can learn probably not to get yourself back in a situation like that, or it may be a good situation. It depends. But I think that we need to more learn how to interact on that level in a positive way when we hear negative, like something negative. Because if we hear something negative from the other individual, it may not be like, for example, the ticket, a $600 ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got kids. You and that person got kids. I got maybe 3 kids. And you got a tight budget. That other individual may not want to hear, oh, you got a $600 ticket. Their answer to it might be more careful, but it may not be your fault.
Right.
They may not be willing to understand that. All they see is that $600.
Mm-hmm.
And you try to sit them down and explain, well, I caught this ticket, but I didn't really do that. I got hit with this, I got hit with that because I was driving while I was Black. A lot of these things happen now. It's very common. So
yes.
Situations and scenarios play out like that a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's how the person would take that and deal with it. Okay, I can understand them not seeing where you're coming from at first because they hear the numbers, but if they actually sat down and took the time to see why it happened or how it could have happened,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe somewhere down the line you get somebody investigated, that would be being proactive on their end. You pay it, and then because it's on your things, but you want to get investigated at the same time. So
right.
I see that I think that we should be less. I'm not gonna say we should be less quick to react to the negative or the negative part of it before we understand what's going on. That goes for both male and female in a relationship.
Right.
I think we should be less quick to be negative about the negative part or the part that we see negative because, like I was saying, it may not be that individual's fault. It just may be a situation where they happen to run into somebody that abused their power or authority. And that happens, that's very common nowadays.
Yes.
But if you know what you're doing, you can hire a lawyer or you can hire somebody to investigate that matter. Because if it's been done to you, I'm quite sure you ain't the first person it's been done to.
Right.
So I
You just
mean, that's one
have,
way to be. Say that again, sister.
no, go ahead. I thought you
That's
were done.
I was going to say that's one way to look at it, and that's also one way to be proactive. So I think that we should be more proactive in situations that call for us to be together, united, because we've been divided long enough. We've seen the game long enough to know what it is, you know. And
Right.
a lot of our situations where we have that disconnection of like how we prosper from each other, it comes from a lot of systemic things,
Yes.
aka things
Yes.
that's outside of us. We
Hmm.
don't look inside anymore. So what you looking for that's inside, you're looking for it outside. So it's like you misplacing your thoughts. You putting your thoughts in places they shouldn't be. But if you were trained that way, it's hard to untrain that way. So to untrain that is to create a true connection because it's going to be nothing left but to connect in the right aspect. If you untrain that, it's going to naturally flow as supposed to.
True. Um, I was thinking that the one point about the ticket, and it made me think that as Black folks, do you think that we should have a fund set aside for things like that? I mean, you could call it whatever you want, the Driving While Black Fund, or the just you could call it the the Bull Crap Fund, you know, Unlucky Day Fund, whatever, because you could get a flat tire, anything can happen where you have these unplanned funds. So I think that we
Right.
need to start putting that in the plan, giving that a budget.
Well,
And if
I
it
think
doesn't,
there's a better way to do that.
we save it.
I think that we as a community, we should have like really, I mean, this is it's easier said than done,
Hmm.
but we donate to a lot of other causes outside of ourselves.
Hmm.
If everybody in the community donated $1 to that cause, it would be enough money to invest in something to double or triple that money just in case there was a situation, or to buy, or everybody invest enough money into that cause, there would be enough money to buy insurance for things like that will happen, or create an insurance policy.
Or at least a company, because we don't own
Yeah.
any insurance companies. We don't, because I thought like Shaq owned the General, but
No, no.
doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It's just
He's
shares. It's
part
not
owner. He only owned a share of it.
shares, right?
They're
So
not gonna let him own all that. That thing been out too long. Oh
and
no.
it's crazy that that sector is monopolized by one group, like the entire insurance, even the
Think
car
about it.
industry.
How many people out there? How many people of different natures are out there driving? And the one kind of people of that nature, you think they're gonna let that other kind of nature like really do what they want to do? No, man, they not gonna do that. Him owning that would be in trouble, man. That would be
Large
hmm.
companies, have we ever had a chance to have full ownership of nothing large? No airline.
System. It's called a system. It's systematic. So as long as we live in their system, we will never own anything that we belong owning, because they're gonna create new laws and new policies to in the system. That's all they're gonna do. That's why they always have policies and new laws to keep us under.
Keep us under. Like that's obvious too.
Yeah.
So, we have the topic of reparations. There's no uh proving it, that we need to prove it. It's already proven, you
Yeah.
know. So it's just yeah, they're definitely slow rolling on that. when that's what they need to speed up. And I definitely think we need to leverage this election with that. Like no go from us if
The
there's
election not gonna help that.
yeah,
I positively, on the most positive note, I
mhm,
honestly think they're gonna, like they always do, they always find something else to pinpoint to make a bigger matter, to always forget what they're really supposed to be doing.
right,
And
which is calculating our shit seriously, you
yeah,
know.
they not worried about us. It's gonna take a little more than talking to them people, man. And I honestly feel that way because they already have in their mind they have what they want and they're gonna hold on to it as long as they possibly can.
Well, see, that's the thing. When they think that they can hold on to it, something comes through and snatches it. But they created this immigrant problem, so that's what they claim came along and snatched the funding. But that's not true because they found money after that fact.
But make it make sense. How could immigrants snatch the funding if they're making new money every day?
Exactly.
AKA the
Money is
money doesn't have a true value because of that.
supposed to be backed by gold, but they don't have, right at this point, the gold, they don't have the gold to match
They took it off
what
the gold
they
standards
bring.
back in the 70s.
Yeah, that's why BRICS and all of those nations went back to gold backed funding, and America was not in the loop as far as I know.
Why you think they got rid of Gaddafi?
Oh, yeah,
He was
absolutely.
going back to African, African with that gold, his African dollars when you get back with the gold was gonna be the richest nation in the world. Who got more gold than them?
Yeah. So, like, with our topic, the prosperity connection, like a lot of these things, it has the capacity to really ruin relationships and homes.
Yeah.
It really is important that we figure out, strategies. And the number one thing is patience with one another, you know, and know that things happen. We're just gonna have to take care of it. Maybe someone has to work a few extra hours, or you know, what are some of the things that we can do in those situations? Say we need to, I don't know, something's happening and we need to save something. We need a quick $5,000. Most of us don't really have a hustle idea that's legal that would be able to hustle up that type of money, like say in 30 days. That could be a challenge out there.
Man,
People think that it's responsible.
that's crazy. 30 days? No, I'm not
The
gonna say
way
it's
that money
impossible.
is moving, it's definitely possible. But
Yeah.
how for us? What would some of those resources and strategies be? That's something, a good challenge that I'm going to look into. 5,000 in 30 days, because we need to be able to give our people something concrete. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I need something concrete myself. I would appreciate a plan that
You
went.
know what I think we should start doing as a people?
Yeah, we need to
Investing
come
in each other.
together.
Just
Yeah.
keep investing in each other and the people. And honestly, I think we should do this like maybe annually, like every couple months. You gather people from different parts of the U.S. and we
Hmm.
meet somewhere in the middle, and we just have a showcase, a fair, and exchange. People buy from you, I buy from her, you buy from me,
Thing we
vice
need
versa,
to start having.
and you
um,
record it, and you
right,
record it.
right. We come together and we purchase from one another.
Yeah,
Do whatever with it that you will. With some people have wholesale, they might resell, which is fine. But we still need to come
you
together.
gave me a sale, and what you have, I may not have in my community, so I may be buying from you, so I could supply it to my community.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like me, I make soap. I can soap. Or that's a pretty good expense if you have a decent sized
right?
family. Say 3 kids. The average good bar of soap is like $7. I can
Yep.
beat that.
And it got chemicals in the average bar.
Exactly. I have natural
So
soap.
you paying for poison from the government and them the people that them big companies.
Off the top, it's a better decision. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what we need to do. Start,
Yeah.
whatever your gift is, let people know, so your gift is cooking, as I can see. So, you have that service available, in your area. There might be some people that can't get out for meals, and boom, there goes a business.
Slowly but surely, but I'm also willing to be mobile and go out different places where people are, they appreciate different things that I cook or just want something different. I'm
Yes,
willing to go out because when I'm at the area where I'm at, people are like, it's more like it's a city turner, it's a town turner city, so it's more town
yeah.
folk mentality than city mentality.
Hmm.
So it's like one of their family members or friends had taste your food and then they hear about it and then they might want to try it. They not just gonna go out on a limb on their own.
Yeah, a lot of people are like that. Or if they find something that's good, they want to keep it to themselves. So they seem exclusive to their friends. Like I make skincare products and I run into that a lot. Ladies, they'll really love my products or whatever. They want to keep it to themselves so that their friends can be like, oh, you have something that I don't, or I
So
have a
what do you do to your skin to get your skin to look like that?
we made. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
that's cutting me because I could be getting more sales if you share it with your friends. They don't have to buy the same kind. You know what I'm saying? It really is just the mentality that needs to change, you know, real fast. Whatever our gifts are, we need to start supporting one another. And that
Always
connection, how can we connect? So there needs to be a website where people can go and actually do these exchanges. Um,
gotta create it, and let the people that are, yeah, we know that are about that and want to connect. There'll be different dates and different times and different locations, you
right,
know, and if we miss you that first time, you get another 6 months, we come back around and then we'll get right the next 6 months,
right.
within the next three to
So
six months.
when we come around, the people have to participate. That's a good idea
Yeah,
to do like a financial literacy, put together a couple of things, and you can call it a program. You know,
yeah,
how to do a budget, how to have that rainy day fund, which a lot of us it's really hard to have. I just depleted my rainy day fund not too long ago, and so I'm on a mission to rebuilding it. So, but that's also a motivating, it's a motivating thing, something you have to do, until you just get out there and do it. So, as I'm talking about this, as they're talking about it, actually experiencing it at the same time, I dropped something. So that's the thing. We are living it together. So we're not on here as being some sort of made up expert because let's face it, now we're
no,
seeing all of these so called experts and moguls fall flat on their faces or find out
of
that
course.
they're not what they said they are. So we can be ourselves, and people should want to connect with us as being, original people that we have the information and we can work it together. We don't have to come on here as some self proclaimed people that have already done it. We are part of the community that has to do it together. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The average black person does not have a huge ass rainy day fund. Let's just be realistic, you know.
Oh,
And if they do, they might be doing something, out of order, like stripping or something like that. Yeah, you could go out there and make a quick $5,000 in 30 days, but we are going to not use those professions. We are going to actually use something that's built from the ground up
positive.
that we can use. Yes, that's positive, not degrading, and legal. There's
Right.
so many things. So stay tuned for that. We are definitely working on a prosperity plan. I myself am working on that, and I invite others to let's make this a team effort, because we don't know that this prosperity plan gets spread across our people that actually use it. Like I have the means to put it in a pamphlet in an actual book form. Within a few days, I
Yep.
can get that done.
They need it. They need it.
We need something tangible that we can say, here, boom, do this. This will help your life. If you follow it, it will help.
A book.
It's up to them.
Pamphlet.
Yes, I'm gonna put that together. I already have it in the works, so it can get done sooner than later. But yeah, because I had done it for myself, and I said, shit, this is pretty good.
What color is it gonna be? Red or black?
Sorry.
What color is the pamphlet gonna be? Red or black?
Well, right now it doesn't have any colors. It's
Okay.
just it's lists and how to, like, step by step what to do. And
Fair enough.
when I put it in a pamphlet form, then I can pick what type of cover I'd like it to have. And actually, something like our thumbnail art is what I'd like to use. Uh, Let me share my screen real quick just to see if I can show it. Because we got some nice little artwork. Come on, downloads. There we are. Download file. But yeah, I have the means to make original artwork from a platform. Uh, I didn't remember if you remember thumbnail looked like, but I'm going to pull it up and
Yeah, I'm listening, sister.
I'm trying to pull up this picture for you. Let me see. All right, share the screen. Oh, now my laptop wants to go slow. I'll tell you, this is acting like a Mercury retrograde time.
Pluto playing around.
Seriously. Here we go. Yeah, you should see a white screen right now. Something's going to
Yeah, I
pop
see
up
it.
in a minute and give us a doggone picture. Let's see. Does it have the picture that I did earlier? No.
Okay, I see a picture. Red and green. like a circle ball thing.
Uh, yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah,
a
it's all
graph. Okay, I see it
so
now. That's a graph. I look close, I can
that's
see it's a graph. Couldn't see it from there.
right. Can you see it now? You
Yeah,
see
I
the
see it's a
picture says
graph.
connection and prosperity. Yeah, thriving in tough times. And you have the couple here with the money and the tree. So this is what I'd like to have on the front of the pamphlet.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
So that way it speaks for itself. You
gotcha.
know, thriving in tough times. It's a book that helps with it could be long term planning, but it's mainly, like a short term financial planning that will help us, something tangible we can just get right to the people. And I
Right.
could
You
have
know how
those
black
printed
people
up.
is, they gotta see something like to want to believe it.
Right. Yeah, yeah, exactly. We work better with hands on things. But I think that that's one thing that would work for us. And another thing is when you're in a couple, do you have your own savings that's your own private savings? Do you tell your mate about every single
No,
monies that you get?
I don't feel you should.
And is
It
that
de- I don't feel you should because I feel okay, as long as bills and everything are taken care of, I don't feel that you should. Because you never know what the situation may call for. What if you're in a situation that other individual don't have the money to help you? What do you do then? You can't do nothing about it. You may be able to get mad at yourself and say, dang, I should have save something for myself. Because you can't always depend on somebody even though you're supposed to be able to, but they're human just like you. And who's to say that your medical expenses or whatever the case may be, it may exceed the money that they have, even if they have money.
Yes, those medical bills can wipe you out.
That's why I said that's why I use medical bills as an example because a lot of us we go to these doctors and sometimes they don't even fully figure out what's going on. We paying out all this money before we
And
fully find
a
out.
lot of our people don't have insurance still.
Exactly. Can't afford it. Still can't afford it.
Yeah, they just pulled a whammy. A lot of us had it, and then they made a countrywide thing where it's a website where everyone that had it had to go through this website to not reapply, but you're supposed to be updating your information, and then you got caught up in a reapplication thing that now made you ineligible all of a sudden. So
Wow.
lots of people got
Because
cut
what
off.
they doing is they
They
make
lured
them
you.
ineligible and take them off risk so that way they can have the money to support the immigrants. So that's who they
Right.
putting
That's
in
what
on
they
it.
did to
That's
us.
what they
Yeah.
doing.
They
They
took it
just
out
use
of the
this.
health care insurance. Yes.
That's why they about to cut off the food stamps. They ain't cutting them off. They cutting them off for the black people. They about
I
to give them
heard
to
they
the
were going to cut
immigrants.
them off.
Huh?
I don't know how soon, but I heard that it was a federal program that was going to cut it across the board.
Oh well.
I heard that just recently, but I don't know how fast it's going to happen. But that's going to hurt. That's going to
A
make a
lot of
lot of
people
people.
had to get up on their own.
Yeah. And
Live
so
or die.
now we're going to have to be more crafty, more creative. So these online jobs, these TikTok creators, these Facebook creators, content creators, period. That's an
Yeah, you gonna
actual
have to follow
profession
them.
now. Yeah, podcast. It's an actual profession, and you can, yeah, you have to pay taxes on it. off
Yeah,
the chain, you know.
because they trying to make a dollar any way they can. They trying to get their hands in everything
Yeah, and they double dipping
possible.
and triple dipping because we pay at the store, you know,
Yeah, that's
we
what they
pay
do.
when we buy something online, pay at
Yeah,
the
remember they
store,
got all these immigrants, so they got to find a way to pay for them. They're
the
gonna take
freaking
your money that
job
they triple
insurance.
dipping. But remember, they need triple the money now because it's
Yeah,
a bunch of them, so they got to find a way to pay that all in a quick rate. Think about it. All the money that they want all of a sudden.
yeah.
Bills and expenses just got
They
higher
actually
after these
had,
people came in this country.
yeah, I don't know what kind of program they did in this state, but I know every state had one. In New York, they gave them Visa cards where they could do $1,400 a month per person in the household that's over 18. So that could be a quick 3, 4, 5,000 in a month coming in one household. Cause you know how they can have 3 or 4 kids. You know, we got people coming in stacking, so they should at least be eating well.
And
You
they
know,
make their own food. They don't go out and buy. They buy from the grocery and they cook from home, so they save all that money.
right? Exactly that too. You know, they're not afraid to cook. Us, we got all of this processed crap, but I think more of us are cooking now.
They starting to switch it up a little bit. So what they starting to do is now that more people starting to cook, they starting to make the price of stuff high.
Yeah, a lot of us are becoming more health conscious, at least making little changes. Number
So
one,
they
drink.
don't like that. So they're making it pricier for people. You
Yeah,
gotta people
water.
that don't know because there's not a Aldi's everywhere. People don't know they can go to the Aldi's.
Yeah,
They
all
don't know
these. Yeah,
that.
I don't know why they don't know because it's like they need to start looking around with resources. Like I said, I noticed that people do not look for things for themselves, and
No, they
for
want you to find it for them.
yes, this is the thing. For many years, I'm that person. People will
But
call me for like shit that you can find, on Google, but I'm gonna give you, of course, more of my own Tanya 23
of
experience
course,
than Google, but people want to do it for free. So I said recently, for my own little fund, I need to furnish it. So I'm gonna start asking for donations for my information. And I see it being done. There's a fellow that
just,
has more
just call it
information.
being a consultant
Yeah, exactly. Um,
because that's what you coming to me for. You that's what they coming to you for. Yes,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. And I
How much
literally
is
have
consult
people that
on?
call me on a regular as their own like information specialist. And I'm like, you're gonna start contributing to my fund. It's my time now. I
Right.
deserve, And it's just the fact of you or the person communicating, there goes that communication again, and ask for what you want. A lot of they're definitely not going to suggest it for you. You know, our people, we are the stingiest with each other, but we'll pay their
That's
price.
that oppression.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that
we'll pay
trained
their price.
oppression.
And pride that we can pay $1,000 for some shit they want to buy. We're proud to do spend that money with them, but when it comes to
Because
spending,
we let our pride outweigh
we gotta talk each other
our
down. We gotta
pride.
say, "Oh, our shit ain't all that," and it's just crazy, what we do to each other over this dollar when we all are competing for the same damn thing.
Of prideful people.
Yeah, but pride always comes before a
Yep,
fall,
exactly.
you
What you
know,
said.
and so we got to start noticing that it hasn't worked for us yet, so we got to do something different. You know, it's high time that we literally stop trying to scam each other.
Break the oppression. We got to find a way to break the oppression because every day is being taught to our youth. And you know what I
Yeah,
said back and I said? I'm gonna say some real stuff. I said this. I was sitting back and I was
mm-hmm.
talking to my ex, right? And I told her I was explaining something about the police, And I
Mm.
said, we don't look too much. We as Black Americans, because even though I'm from the Caribbean, my mom is Black American, so I have part to do with that too. So I say, we as Black
Mm.
Americans, we gotta remember these people. They didn't stop wearing what they stopped wearing. They just wear even more
Yeah,
now, but they're in the system. So by them being in the system, you're gonna have to start looking at their last names when they pull you over and do your research and see who their grandfather was.
right.
And once you see who their grandfather was, you can take them to court and you can file a lawsuit. You got evidence.
Hmm.
Probable cause for why you pulled me over. Nah, that was racism.
Right. But a lot of people have to know their rights in order to do that, to make that
What you
assertion. You
said?
know what I mean? And
What you
like they
said?
have the Know Your Rights. What is it? KnowYourRights.org. There's no, what they said, ignorance is no excuse. If you go into a
Ignorance
court,
is yeah.
yeah, you go into a court, they slap you with whatever. If you don't know your rights, you can't, ask for anything. And so you get hit with whatever you get hit with.
They use
And
maritime law against you. They put you in the
right,
middle of the ocean. And if you don't understand etymology, which
right,
is the original words, they can use big words in the courtroom and get you to plead to something that
mhm,
you shouldn't be pleading to.
right,
And
yep.
it happens to a lot of people.
Ignorance of
And
the
and
law and etymology of words. And then once they get locked up with all of these years, then they become word experts because they get to go to the law library and learn all of these words now and actually see in their case where they got screwed. So a lot of people become like lawyer type level experts in prison. Many of
but
our
they gotta
brothers
go through the experience in order
exactly,
to get the experience. You gotta go through the experience to get the experience to know what you're doing. It's
exactly,
crazy, right? You gotta go through
right.
it to get it. Some people
Yeah,
do.
some of that is costing them. Some of that experience is
And
their
you
life.
lose time though.
Yeah. Because life now, when people say, "Oh, he's a lifer," that's not forever. Life is what 25 years, but it's the
Yeah,
parole thing.
25. Yeah.
If they tell you you have no chance for parole, then that's it. You know, every 25 years,
25 to life and no chance for parole. That means
right?
you stuck.
Yep, for life. Every 25 years, when it's parole time, you don't go. So
And all that we talking about is connection and prosperity because a lot of people they lose connection from not knowing how to speak about their case or how to get themselves out of a situation that maybe they did do that, but they didn't do the other things you said they did. But you gonna connect to it because somebody gotta get connected to it. So now you
right,
disconnected from the family and everything. So they gonna prosper, but they gonna prosper in a bad way. They ain't prospering in a good way because you're not coming
right,
home.
not at
You
all.
separate the black man from the black woman because they still don't learn how to connect. And it ain't her fault. It may not be his fault because how we been trained. So when you go to court, you don't know how to connect with the words that they say.
Yeah,
You sound like, okay, fine.
a lot of guys think that females, because a female will be like, "Oh, well, in order to talk to me," a lot of black females are saying they got to pay some bill, they got to give them some sort of money, take them to some high end restaurant and whatnot. And it is happening. So our young ladies have to know that their worth also is not, that's, you don't have to sell yourself for, a dinner or anything like that. We buy you a pocketbook or whatever to just meet somebody and get to know them. That's you shouldn't be asking for money. You should have,
Nah, that don't exist no more in this reality because people are too modernized and people, what they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But
mm,
a lot of people of this generation in this reality, what you saying is right, but people don't go out from the heart anymore. They go out from here. They already have an intention. So they can't see it
mm,
happening. Because
yeah,
once you already here, you beyond this. You ain't even thinking about that. You're thinking about what you want or what
Right.
could possibly happen for you.
That's true. But like people will still do it though. Even if you can see through it and they can see that.
Oh yeah, people bold. They bold nowadays.
Oh, it's crazy. It's incredible. You know? I guess that's what they call it, the zombie apocalypse that would happen. It doesn't look like the movie. It looks like
No,
the haves and the have-nots, you know? And it's not the material thing. It's having this, you know, having your wits about you, being sharp in your thinking, you know? That's the main thing. Now, it's keeping your brain healthy, eating foods that actually has you thinking about how to prosper financially, how to maneuver in problem solving. Because you have those that are so full of parasites that they can't even concentrate on. They're just feeding the parasites all day. The sugar,
yeah,
the sugar, the chemicals, you know, and a lot of people, they're good working people. And they don't know that they're sick with the parasites, you
nope.
know, and yeah, it definitely starts with, you know, it might sound funny, but the diet is way important. They did
Wow, what you? Nah, that makes a whole lot of sense.
there was a test where they had a simple mouse or maybe it was a rat, and they gave them both the same amount of sugar. Well, no, they
All
gave
right,
one rat the sugar and the other rat didn't have any. They let him go. He found the little maze and set himself free. Well, the one with the sugar kept going past the thing where he could just open the lever and set himself free, but he couldn't find it. He was so high up in the sugar, he was just so hyper, he kept going past the freaking door where he could just get free. So he never got free. And it was because of the freaking sugar. He couldn't think straight. It took over his
he
mind.
became a prisoner to his own addiction.
Yeah, that fast with the sugar. So just imagine what they're putting, you know, anything you could buy in a
That's why they do that. Everything that we like has some form of sugar in it.
yeah,
Because the sugar is a additive that is addictive. It keeps you coming back because whatever
highly.
the natural flavor, it multiplies that 10 times.
Yeah, it's more addictive than a lot of the drugs they have out there. It's like literally up there with cocaine. It's crazy.
I wouldn't be surprised if they cut sugar with a
The
little
white
cocaine.
sugar. And the thing
I wouldn't be
is, a lot
surprised.
of yeah, a lot of the stuff that has this sugar in it is for the children, which is crazy.
Yeah,
Mhm. No wonder they keep coming up with ADHD and all these different things. They're actually getting
the
it from
ADHD
the
is
mother's
really
womb.
not really. It's really not ADHD. That's what they call
It's
it
sugar
because the
damage, brain
child
damage from
vibrates.
sugar. Yeah, brain damage from sugar. It depends on, because it really depends on what the mother drank. If she drank like high fructose drinks, then the baby's brain was being damaged from its inception.
And
You
then
know,
that means that child wouldn't have ADHD. That child would
right?
move slower. That child would have Down syndrome. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. An ADHD child is really, they call it ADHD because that child vibrates at such a high frequency because it's new. So it's going to move fast.
Yeah, they actually
So,
have photographic memories and can remember on
yes,
a high level and
I was one of
retain
them kids. I'm an
information.
ADHD kid. I'm what they would call it. They try to use Ritalin to slow me down, but
Mm,
eventually it wore off. And I had a lot of times when my mom would just skip. But
yeah,
you can't. What I learned, if
mm,
something's meant for somebody, you can't really stop it. You can slow it down, but you can't stop it.
Right.
No matter what they give you.
Wow.
Yeah. I went through that.
Mhm.
I went through that from the time I was probably about 11 years old, 11 or 12, all the way up
Yeah.
until I was about 14,
Mm.
15.
But being
But,
treated for
but
ADHD.
yeah, and what happened, I used to hide the pills under my tongue because
Mm.
they had me on Depakote, Wellbutrin, Zep, Zyprexa, and
Wellbutrin. I'm
Ritalin.
familiar with Wellbutrin.
And oh, it puts you down. All that man just put you down. You be like a zombie. You sleep for like,
Yeah, they actually use that for people that can't kick cigarettes. The Wellbutrin.
man, it was crazy. I'm only about that's I was about 13, 14 when they put me on all of that. But
Yeah.
before it was just the Ritalin. But I'm like, whoo, I look back and I see the recall, like the
Yes, they
chemical
found.
lie would damage people eardrums. And I said, I checked mine
Mhm.
and I think I'm good. But imagine how I could have sued.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of lawsuits for that because people was putting us on that stuff without doing the research. So they also helped destroy us by not having knowledge of what
Yeah.
they were doing.
And just think, some of those kids from that now are old enough to have their own children and see how, because it would carry in the genes, you know.
Right.
Well, that's what they say. But if it's environmental, then hopefully it wouldn't cross over to that next generation. Like they said, ADHD, I believe it's environmental. It was some sort of vaccine that was giving it to the boys. The black boys were coming up with ADHD from a certain vaccine. And the Nation of Islam had their own research or whatever, and they had released it. And then the actual scientists got caught throwing some of the science paperwork in the trash that actually proved that this particular vaccine, and if I'm not mistaken, it was a flu, something that they give all kids for school. And that was the one that was actually giving black boys had a higher percentage of getting ADHD from that
Yeah,
particular
because
vaccine.
it was probably planted there to spitefully do that until people caught on, and once they caught on, they had a
Right.
TikTok stories for it. That's what they
That's what.
always do.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's America, but people not woke on the level that they pay attention to these things in the history,
Yeah.
aka history repeats itself. So people
They call us conspiracy theorists until it's proven. Years later, like you
yeah,
ever
but it's
see
been proven many times. But the things
yeah,
that's been proven, it's not been put out in the open. It's in the open, but it hasn't been put out to the public as the way it should be. It's
yeah.
silently put out to the public. So they
So
can say
how
at the
did
end of the day, we gave you that info, you just
you,
didn't research.
yes, I wanted to ask, how did you break free from the, like you said, the medication and whatnot, because you're super intelligent, and I would have never been able to say, you know, you had any ADHD kind of, thing that I
Broke
could
free from it.
see. Yeah, so yeah,
Basically, the
you're
meds,
healed,
I
right?
got them away from me with the meds and I healed on my own, but it took about, let me see, from the time I was 14, 15, all the way to about, it took me about 11 years to completely
Wow.
heal for like my mind to stop skipping. My mind would skip like the symptoms, like, yeah, I would be in one thought and I would shift straight into another thought. Like,
Because without the medication, that brings its own side effects also that you have to deal with, right?
no, the side effects of it is not what people say they are.
Mm.
Attention deficit hyper disorders, because I'm gonna tell you what I truly think it is. It's more okay. A child is very spiritual. People, kids like that are very spiritual kids.
Hmm.
They're misunderstood because they're not here to focus on the BS that's not really real. They're not here to focus on the systematic stuff, so they're
Right.
naturally bored by that.
Yeah, they're
So
here. They
by
focus on universe stuff.
yeah,
Hmm.
so by them naturally being bored by that, they have to deem them something because you're gonna have a bunch of kids like these. And the only way to treat that is to put them on the meds where they got to listen to you. They ain't got no choice but to listen to what's going on. Because you slowing them down.
Right.
That's the whole,
Yeah.
really the whole aspect of it. It's spiritual kids that was slowed down because they not focusing on they focusing on the 1%. They not focusing on the other 99%. And that's
Hmm.
bad for them because how you so young and you focusing on something else outside of what they want you to focus on.
Hmm.
They don't want you to focus on internal matters. They want
Right.
you to focus on external matters. Things
Mm.
that don't matter to you or don't matter for you.
Right.
Because if it don't matter for you, then they got you.
Mm.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how ADHD is. So it's
And I
really not.
noticed the first thing they want to do with kids is get them on the meds. That's like the main thing. You never hear of any other kind of testing or holistic trying anything
Oh,
else besides getting them on some sort of meds. You know.
how can we have our black kids out here and they who they are, but you want all the kids to be the same or similar?
And see, we're not. We are not the
You can't
same.
do that. You because if you try to make everybody the same, you're gonna mess up the natural chemistry of the ordinance.
Right.
You're
And
gonna
that's
mess up
what's
the natural
happening with
chemistry of
us.
that.
Yeah. Because I don't even think we should have the same medicine at all. I don't even
No.
think that we could take the same Tylenol. I just think that we are different and we should
Can
have
I
medicine
say
that
something to that?
works. Sure.
I'm gonna say this the smoothest, coolest way I can say this. But do you ever notice when those people, when they get upset, they animalistic nature kicks in? Do
Oh,
you ever
absolutely.
notice that?
Yes, real quick.
And they can't hide it. So like even if like I couldn't even see them the albino to us. I couldn't even see it because of how far they go with things.
Yeah.
So how could we ever have the same kind of meds?
Right. We don't have the same thinking pattern, frequency, and
No,
nothing.
you gotta remember,
It's crazy
we got more
until we
eaters
start
than them.
doing. Yeah. And we're carbon based. They're solar
Exactly.
based. So why are we
Exactly.
doing shit? Like literally, I was talking to a girl that says that she literally had to have this particular shot because she was white and she was having a baby by a black guy, and her body literally was rejecting the fetus and was working against it to like reject it until they gave her this shot, and it's called an RH factor shot. And once they give that to her, then she can now have the baby. Her body won't reject it. But naturally, a white woman's body rejects a black seed.
Because the
I've always
genetics was
heard
not
about it.
naturally made
I was
for that.
speaking about it the other day, and then out of nowhere, this actual white chick confirmed it for me like that week, the
Why
same
you
week.
think they had to run it the other way? So you know what that means, right?
Right.
That means they touched us before we touched them.
No, yeah, it had to be the other way around.
Because what you just said, right,
Hmm.
confirms that it then had doubled, it had then
Now, see,
hit the line.
the black woman doesn't go through all that. Her body
Exactly,
doesn't
exactly.
reject
That's
the
why I
white
said they had to
seed.
hit us first.
Right. So if you reverse it, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen to the black woman. when she
Nah.
is, with a white man, she can carry that seed, you know. So, but when it happens with the white woman, her body automatically rejects it. Now, to me, that's freaking biblical. Like that's like law right there, and it is in the Bible that suppose it said that God said you weren't supposed to be doing the mixing. But as far as I know, it only happens with black and white.
Yeah,
You know,
it's a
mixing.
very common thing because like that's why I said we need to keep the connections prosperity even tighter now because you got the Japanese women, you got the Asian women, they're looking for black men now,
Mm-hmm.
they're
Mm-hmm.
looking to like
They really are. We
and
see it,
they hate us. They hate black people.
but they want the man though.
They just want
You
their kids to
top
have
it
something because
all
they know
doggone.
that Africa about to be on top again. They won't be part of that.
And see, that's the thing. Just like they do in vitro fertilization, they don't really want that. I mean, some of the women, they do like black men because they're strong or whatever. I think they genuinely like black men. They do not like the women. They just want the man. You know. Um, and then on top of that, it's like they had all of this penises that they found on this ship. It was marked plantains. It was marked plantains. But when they opened it up, it was a box of like extra large black men's penises. Now, come to find out, these countries eat them for delicacies. That's what they were doing with them. So they say. Just crazy shit that
Yeah, yeah.
as
I can
melanated
believe it.
people don't understand how they're on the hunt to literally eat your body.
They don't understand that. They don't want to understand it. So, by the time it happened, it's too late because you
It
was
is
born,
something
but
crazy to have to understand
but I also think that they know who to approach with that. I really think
too.
that because like I think there's some within some of us that there's like some kind of light or some that goes off like, yeah, you know what? That person alert to some extent, they gonna feel some kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm gonna have my best shot with this individual. Let me try somebody that don't have no idea what's going on.
Right.
That's how I feel
Yeah.
about it.
I believe so too. A lot of the times when I have my crystals on, I can see the reaction of people outside, you know. It
You
just
can sense
I'm
the
like, what are they
energy a
looking
little
at? It
better.
just seems like I'm like, it's okay, is it me or is it the crystals? So I'll read the crystals and I still get the same reaction. So but I know the crystals enhance your aura, you know.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
it
It
definitely
amplifies your aura.
yeah. Yeah. It's not the end all be all, but it definitely
Ah,
amplifies.
it's gonna amplify. Yeah, definitely. Especially if you
Yes.
got a quartz crystal with you.
Yes,
That
yes.
quartz
You come to
crystal
find
with
out.
anything else around that quartz is gonna amplify that
Yes.
crystal and your energy.
Get you some good quartz, and that's the least expensive and the most effective.
Yeah,
So
you get your
I would
quartz and
definitely.
a quartz and a rose quartz, and let that amplify
Hmm.
around the place. Show them some love.
Even amethyst is a form of
That's a
quartz
very
that's
spiritual one.
really
That's good
good.
for grounding too.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah,
One
I
of the
have.
best. It's so crazy that you say that because in the Virgin Islands, in the jewelry stores,
Mhm.
all the rings and different stuff are sat in the amethyst crystal, literally
Wow,
sat inside of it. And
wow.
I'm like, man, I don't know what to do. Give me the amethyst.
And
I
I
want
know
to
those
buy a big piece of
places
that
have
amethyst.
some of the nice, intricate pieces and stuff for good
Man,
prices.
as a
Yeah.
kid, I'm seeing this purple stuff and I don't know what it is. And I'm just like, okay, whatever.
Wow.
And as I get older as an adult, I found out, oh, the whole time I'm seeing this is amethyst. Okay. Like, yeah, I'm a kid, I don't know what this stuff is because ain't nobody
Yeah.
around me passing on the spiritual knowledge and there's just so much research I gotta do about where I'm from because they casted
Yeah,
out some of
same
the
here.
Jews to the St. Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I need to find out more on it because that'll be my form of connection and prosperity as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I would prosper from it by learning about it because I would be able to teach other people.
Right.
So I need to find a book on that. If you ever get a chance,
What is it
then
directly?
it's there's a in history I read some stuff about them casting out the black Jews to the island of St. Thomas. That's where I'm from.
Oh yeah. They got cast a lot of places. I
They
believe
got cast. A
that.
lot of them got cast there, and but what I got some more stuff to say to you. There's
But you
certain
would think,
places.
uh-huh. You would think
There's
that
certain
they
places that
been,
they got buried. They got like a Jewish story on it because some of them caught smallpox and different things like that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
they have never buried anything else there because if you dig it up, you bring that
Have you
back
ever
up.
gotten your DNA done? Because it's probably in there as
Now
it would show up as Hebrew.
so now I gotta okay. So now this the thing I gotta ask though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't be knowing about them DNA things and how real they is because I be trying. I want to find a good one because I don't be trusting that stuff sometimes. But what would
Now
be a good
check
one to
this
do?
out. It will give you the breakdown of your blood by the swab, and it goes by haplogroups, and it tells you what group that your genealogy moves more towards. Is it this group over here in Mali? Is it, it's 31% that group in Mali, it's 10% this group in Ghana, it's it might say 15% Hebrew. Like it's gonna give you
You talking
a
about that
whole
23?
right. Now check it out.
Everybody been talking about that 23. That's confirmation that I probably
Really?
just do it. Cause now
Yeah.
somebody, I swear, my
The
homeboy
20,
that
yeah.
worked
Oh,
with
you
me, I
saying
just
the
got a job.
23 and me.
He was talking to me about that 23. Him and his wife was talking to me about the 23. And I'm like,
So
okay.
it's 23 and me, the spot that does the testing. Yeah. I heard
Because
that
he
they're
was
pretty
telling me
good
there's a
too.
cheap one and then there's an expensive one.
Yeah, definitely. You have to check it out. But the one on ancestry.com, it will give you updates. So now it's giving me a higher percentage of American Indian, which should have been there from Jump Street. So from Jump Street,
Uh,
it had 0%. And I'm like, yeah, right.
but
I
I got
know.
a lot of American Indian over here too from my mama and daddy's side of the
Right,
family. I
right,
already
right.
know that though. You ever
As
heard of
they
the Black
started,
Creek Indians?
say it again.
The Black Creek Indians.
Yeah, I heard about them.
Okay, that supposed to be my mommy daddy bloodline. So it
Cool.
got a lot. So it's I got so much research to do on both
Now I
sides because
heard
both
about
sides.
them. They go from Canada on down into the South, as far as I know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so that also shows like I'll get like these hits. You get these hits because you're in the database of other people, and a lot of people are like seventh cousins. So
Yeah.
from the slavery or whatever, I think that all of us over here are at least seven cousins related.
Somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
Because you gotta remember too, you know what I did? Like because I know a lot about my family. A
Hmm.
lot of us has came from Milano, Italy, and Morocco, and all over
Yeah,
there too.
I got that in mind too.
I got a
The
lot of family
Irish,
from
all of that.
Milano, Italy. A lot
Hmm.
of family from over there. Black people, well, a lot of black people in Italy back in the
I
day.
have
I
at
didn't
least
know
like
that.
between 5 and 7% of town. It's crazy.
So,
Like
and guess
all.
what? They
Hmm.
migrated. My people, right? They migrated from there and they went to the Dominican Republic. And they
Yeah.
left from the Dominican Republic and they went to the Virgin Islands.
Mm.
and some of them went from the Dominican Republic to New York.
Right.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
tell you because like
That's why,
most of my
like, New
family
York
members
is
that told
such
me
a
about it.
melting pot. Yeah, New York is so international. It's crazy.
Exactly. It's
Everybody came
crazy.
to New York. But yeah, so bringing this section to a close, I think we talked about a lot. Um,
Yeah.
but yes, it is. We're gonna leave with the number one fact that we must communicate as Black people together in this prosperity journey, because we're going to have to all of our skills and resources that we offer one another. We're going to have to partake. Let's just act like that's all we have. If you need a therapist, pretend that the only therapist that you can find would be a therapist of your own kind. Just try
Right.
it. It's like if you need, hey, I've been able to pick my own doctors, you know. I've actually had a young woman, a young African woman, that's been my doctor for the past 9 years. You know, she's been a family doctor to me and my children. Now they're graduated and out of school, but yeah, so we all had the same doctor. I tried to keep the same dentists. You know, a lot of times they'll get in there, you get a good one, and then they gotta go and they get replaced. But you pretty much have your own choices for those things, and try to, research companies before you want to buy a TV. Maybe there's some Black owned TV places out there, or at least a company where you could buy one from. Take the
Right.
time to put in the research, and
Support.
perhaps um, Tanya 23, the Minister of Communications, would have a hotline to where if you needed the information, one could leave a donation and get the answers that they're looking for. But we got to support
Right.
one another. We got to do it. Other
See,
than
see,
that,
that's the
we
thing.
have to go to
People
them
don't
to make all.
understand that a lot of this thing is spiritual, so there has to be some kind of offering. They don't understand that
Yeah,
we spend time in that space. Something has to be offered in that space. It's a fair exchange.
right. That's
Because
true.
it's like we'll be doing something in vain, aka it's like calling somebody's name in vain. People don't like their name called in vain. They want what you want.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to do anything in vain. So there is a
Right.
way. There is a way, where we don't have to take advantage of one another at all. But yes, let's see. Do we have? I thought we had a comment, but that looks like a. I can't read what that says, so we won't worry about that. But yeah. So we will continue to think and ponder on this subject and actually move forward with it in our own lives. I will have this pamphlet available soon, where I can upload it and actually have a link to share with folks. At least give me 2 weeks on that, because it has to go through, publishing stage
Right.
and whatnot. But it's going to be, about a 20-page manual. Nothing too deep, because then if it's too thick, people aren't gonna want to dive into it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some of those thick books scare people. Some of them thick books
True.
scare us, and we just never even open the cover. But not this one. We're gonna make it, not a threat. It's gonna be, non-threatening for our people to go ahead and start getting that work in. Because journaling is good also. You know, I
Right.
actually got the motivation to write my first 3 books by journaling, you know. So it can be done. And ideas are meant to be written down. I know we're in the stage of like digital everything, but definitely get your books in, write the books. They can't erase you off the planet when you have a book, you know. So that is another thing. So I'm gonna just be doing some seminars and whatnot. Coming up in mid-June, I think I'm gonna do not a book writing seminar because they have many of those, but actually doing it, drumming up the motivation on the inside. Because a lot of times, like you said, things is more spiritual than physical. You
Right.
know, and the difference between our goals, manifesting our goals and not manifesting them, that part is spiritual, I believe. It's spiritual and physical because you have to do the work, you
Yeah.
know.
It's and people only get one half, and when they do the one half, they think they got the whole thing. Nah,
Right.
you only got
Yeah.
one half.
Because your mind can easily talk you right out of all that work you just did. You could do like 10 hours of motivational speaking. It only takes one bad thought to throw all that away.
And
One
kill it.
negative
Yep.
thought, rather, to kill it. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about that again as well. Maybe next week we'll talk about how to. We were supposed to do either we're going to do cooking, you know, healthy
Uh-huh.
cooking habits or whatever, because you could make a couple of changes that are really big. Maybe change some of the
Definitely.
oils that you use for cooking and stuff. That's a major upgrade, you know.
Yeah.
So
Major
stay
stuff.
tuned. Yeah. Do you have any closing remarks before we
Oh,
out?
just gonna say it was a great show as usual, as always.
Yes, absolutely. We always get to the nitty gritty and get that to the heart of the matter. You know, that's what we need to
Right.
do. Stop like going glossing over things. We really need to get this prosperity connections together because times are going to get more difficult before they get better. That's a reality, you know.
Definitely.
So until next week, everyone have a wonderful, prosperous week. And, you know, try this week, maybe challenge yourself to partake in something that you need to, and then let go of something that you need to. And,
Right.
you know, try that and maybe come back next week
Don't
and give
hold
us
on too
some.
long, but don't let go too fast.
Absolutely, right? You stay right balanced in the middle there. So we need lots of grounding. Stay grounded, my people.
Right.
Yes. And until the next time, it's been another Tanya 23 experience. And we have my special guest, Brother Rizzy. So until next week, everybody stay up.
Right.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace out.